Let's unpack this blind spot benchmark survey. What exactly it is for our listeners who haven't seen it before, haven't taken part in it before. Spell it out for us, simple terms. What is this?
It is a study, like many of the studies that we do, that are looking for gaps, that are looking for blind spots. And I think what is unique specifically about this study here is it is a derivative of a study that we facilitated all the way back in 2019 when I was writing Banking on Digital Growth. So we have some historical context into where things were 2019 going into 2020 to where things are 5 years later.
When you say we're looking for blind spots, where? Where are we looking?
Specifically, number one is positioning. Number two
On the
is
website.
positioning on the website. Exactly. How are you positioning your bank? How are you positioning your credit union? Because how you position your organization is going to directly influence the perception that others have of your organization. And that positioning is not just on the website, although we'll call that the diagnostic approach, as we are finding the beliefs that drive that positioning go much deeper within the organization itself.
So we're looking at positioning
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost.
Yep.
What else are we looking at?
The customer journey, the member journey. Our organization's mapping out these journeys, and 86% to date are not mapping out their digital customer journeys, their digital member journeys. And the way that we're looking at that is through the lens of awareness, consideration, purchase, adoption, and then advocacy. We see there's a dabbling in
Hmm.
the digital journey mapping experience, but there's not a definitive path. There's not clarity into how the awareness flows into the consideration or the consideration flows into the purchase. And obviously, we continuously are finding that more deeply within the website secret shopping studies that we're facilitating and then providing recommendations on how to eliminate the blind spots. But the fact that 86% of financial brands are not mapping out these journeys full funnel, if you will, from awareness all the way down to um, uh, the purchase, down to the onboarding, down to the uh, activation, and really turning the advocacy piece of this. It's ripe for opportunity.
And why is this dangerous? Why should a listener be alarmed or ask themselves, wait a minute, have we done this? Do we need to? What are
Yeah,
we missing out on?
that's a great question. What are the dangers? It's a lack of clarity that can create confusion. Confusion for a prospective account holder, confusion even for an account holder who's looking for another product. Say they have checking, but then they might have a need or they might have a pain. They need a car. Their pain is their car has broken down. Their need is they have a home, but they're outgrowing that home, or they're, wanting to become a first time home buyer. They don't know where to start. So, from our studies, our website secret shopping studies specifically, we know that 92% of people in the market for a financial product, they go to Google. That's the first place that they're going to go. They may or may not end up on your site. They may or may not see the email that you send. They may or may not see the ad that you're placing. But eventually, they could end up on your website. And what they see on your website is going to directly influence how they proceed going forward. And so, by not mapping out these different experiences, because if you think about the buying journey, those 5 stages of awareness, consideration, purchase, adoption, advocacy, within each one of those stages are actually very specific micro journeys that would then influence the perception of what's the next step forward. Because the buying journey is not a logical journey, it is an emotional journey. And people enter into a buying journey feeling some level of negative emotion.
Yes.
60, 65% feel confusion, um, doubt, uncertainty. Um, am I going to get approved? Do
Yeah.
I have the credit for this? And so, knowing that there's some level of negative emotion or confusion, the very first step, specifically in the awareness stage, as they're coming to the site, is do they feel some level of clarity? And
Mhm.
if they don't, we know that there's probably not a path forward, because the
And
emotive
trust.
buying journey is confusion goes to clarity. Clarity then gives way to courage. Courage is the path to commitment. And commitment is simply just clicking the commitment to click the apply button. And that commitment, just because they click the apply button, doesn't mean
Yeah.
that they're going to complete. To complete the application requires confidence to make it all the way through to the other side.